Hi Keerthi, this is your evaluation for your Project P2 Level 2 speech today. So first of all, let me start off by saying your speech was really great in terms of content, in terms of the storyline, and the way you met your project objectives. So those things you got down pat. In fact, not just for this particular speech, but even from your past speeches, from what I have seen as the audience or just a general bystander, your speeches always tend to have a good amount of content into it, and you always have a good, strong storyline. So that is something that you should continue as part of your positives in your speech giving activities. The one thing that I would suggest to you to make a change or to kind of work upon more is the way you modulate your voice when you're giving the speech. So when you're narrating a story, there are bound to be certain highs and certain lows in the way the ebb and flow of the storyline goes. So if you manage to modulate your voice a little better, and if you manage to make that narrative sound like a story rather than a flat line, it would have a better effect. It makes the audience more engaged, it makes them more tuned into what you're trying to say and what the story is that you're trying to bring forward. Similarly, another minor point that I noticed, and I think it's something that probably happens when you're a bit nervous or when you have a lot of content to go through within that gap of a 4 to 6 minute speech, is your breathing. So there were certain times when, because I was seated close to the stage, I could hear a little bit of breathlessness. So maybe if you could just work on your breathing as well to not sound like, you're out of breath, especially when you're at the pitch or at the pang of a particular storyline. And the final point that I would suggest to you is your body movement. So I know that you are making an effort to not, roam around the stage or to not really fidget with your hands and your legs. Nobody really always knows what is the best thing to do with their hands and feet when giving a speech. But maybe if that is something more that you could work on, maybe practice in front of a full-length body mirror or something. But just your general body presence when you're speaking or when you're not really trying to narrate a tale, try to work on your full body posture as well. So what your feet are doing or what your hands are doing when people aren't really paying attention. So those are just the minor things that I would want you to work on. But overall, in terms of it, today's speech that you gave, you had a very engaging storyline, the bits about your father and how his entire journey has been and how he has influenced your leadership and your corporate qualities as well. So I personally found that really well. It does happen that for every daughter, her father is her hero, is the first person that he or she looks up to. And I think you brought that forward very well. You also managed to really grab the audience's attention with several good props and acts. But like I said, going back to the narrative thing, use that attention grabbing and try to maximize that potential for detail. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.